Hi everyone, this is Kathy Mamelin, Psychic Medium. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a timeless love reading for all signs and any sign that you may be thinking of today. Today I'm going to ask my spirit guides about the person that may be on your mind. Where is this connection headed? What are their thoughts and feelings? What are their intentions? Where are we going with this connection? So let's call in our spirit guides now. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to anybody that's new. I'm so grateful that you've been guided here. Spirit, please share with me any loving messages that you have for anyone who has found this reading at this time. I am listening for you now. Let's see what we have. I have let it be. If you need to solve a problem, ask yourself, what is the simplest way to proceed? When you call forth the simplest path, it appears, and vice versa. A little bit of pick your battles, okay? A little bit of maybe I don't want to open up a can of worms, like it's not worth it at this time for your mental health or the situation that you might be in. So maybe we just press pause, they're saying, on a situation. Maybe we're not ready to make a decision. So a little bit of a just kind of pausing for a minute to think. I have a shine bright. It's never a mistake to give of yourself. Some will take it for granted. Others may take advantage of it. Do not allow bad energy to overpower your light. So you could be upset about a situation right now, and you may be looking to I don't want to say revenge, but you may be looking for, to protect yourself or guard yourself. And there's a sense of, I don't want you to pull a trigger on a situation because it may backfire on you, because you're pulling the trigger in a sense when you're angry or you're upset or you're resentful. And it's not how you would normally behave. So you behave differently under a different circumstance. So part of me feels like I just need you to pause, wait it out, see if the situation changes. Go with your, like take the high road. Okay, there's something going on with that. I have life as a gift. Life is unfolding for you, so seize the day and make the most of every chance to be true to yourself and live life to the fullest. It's time to cut out all the noise. Don't let somebody dictate to you or to tell you what to do or to tell you that you're wrong in a situation. The person who says you don't know what you're talking about, you're making something up. No, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not making it up. So I feel like somebody is twisting your words, okay? And you want to defend yourself, but I feel like I just don't know for your own. Take the high road. I feel like there's a sense of take your high road, okay? I'm going to see what the cards are saying for a second. Maybe somebody's twisting your words. Maybe somebody's trying to cause trouble. Maybe there's interference, they're saying, in this connection. And it could be anything from a third party, somebody trying to come in, or it could be a friend, a family member, a mother, something like that. So be true to yourself, they're saying. Take the high road. So let's start there. I have a Magician. I have a 9 of Pentacles, a 10 of Pentacles, and I have an Ace of Swords. So I'm going to say that you have a lot to offer. There's a sense of independence. There's a sense of security. You can take it or leave it, is how they're saying to me. So it's not like a life or death situation. You know the truth, okay? So there's a sense of the truth comes out, okay? So there's a part of me that says you've said to somebody, they've twisted the words, or you've caught them in a lie. You've caught them saying something that doesn't make sense. And they throw it back on at you like you're crazy. And you're like, no, I know who I am. I feel secure. I know the truth. So I need you to stand in your power and not bow down to this person. If you know that what you're saying is to be true, or you know that something is wrong, you feel it in your heart, your intuition is telling you. I have a 2 of Swords. You're going to get the answers that you're seeking, okay? You're going to make a decision. You may decide that I'm going to walk away from somebody, or I'd rather be alone than have somebody lie to me, okay? So this could be crossing your mind. I have a Sun. What's on the other side? And I have an 8 of Pentacles. Part of me feels like I'm not going to tolerate somebody that isn't being true to me. And they're saying, just take a pause. You might not be ready to make this decision, okay? But it's crossing your mind that I would rather be alone. I would rather be alone and start over and start something new than have somebody tell me that I'm making something up in my head, okay? So somebody's twisting your words. Stand true to what you know to be true. Look at this. Persevere, okay? I have a 2 of Cups. This came into me as you deserve more. This is a feeling of commitment. If this person isn't willing to commit, and they're starting with that there's something going on behind the scenes, or they're making you feel like something isn't you're crazy, like you're making stuff up. You accuse somebody of talking to somebody, or you accuse somebody of somebody else interfering in this connection, and they share with you that you're making it up. No, I'm not making it up. I have evidence, or I can see it with my own eyes. I have a feeling that somebody isn't being upfront with you, and you are just having a hard time believing it. And that's a really hard place to be. When you catch somebody in this interference, maybe you've already gone through this, and Spirit will have a reminder to you of, that you took the high road and that you deserved better. But right now, I feel for some of you finding this message, they could be saying kind of beware of what's going on beneath the surface. Keeping a promise. Can they keep a promise? I feel like that's something you're asking yourself. Did they keep a promise? And did they promise, that nothing was going on, or they wouldn't do anything anymore, or what they did in the past they would never do again? So there's a sense of, did they keep the promise? I have trash, throwing away and getting rid of, tossing something out. They're asking you to pause. I'm not quite ready to throw something away yet, but it's crossing your mind that that's an option. Just remember, you don't have to stay in a relationship that isn't worthy of you. If they're not being good to you and they're hiding something, you probably would move on. Already knowing the tea, you probably already know what's going on. You're catching them with they're spinning their words, okay? They're twisting and spinning their words, spinning your words. They are making you feel like it's you, not them. They're throwing what they're doing back on you. If they're cheating, they're accusing you of cheating, something like that. I've got doing drugs and burning evidence and toxic. So you could have somebody that is just not worthy of you, unfortunately. Maybe you didn't know any of this. You know, maybe you thought that this was a good connection, but am I with the wrong person? You know, and again, some of these things you could have gone through already, or now you're starting to find out. You're starting to find out that they are deleting messages, they are throwing things away, they're burning things, throwing things away. Behind the scenes, you know that they're doing drugs when they promised that they wouldn't, something like that. They're drinking again. They promised you that they would try harder or they would get help. So I feel like I'm just struggling right now with someone isn't quite honest with you. And maybe you've already gone through this and it's just a reminder if you don't want to go back to this person. I've got passion. There could be insane chemistry with this person. Maybe it's really hard to say goodbye. Can you be really upset with somebody but still be insanely attracted to them? Absolutely. I have addiction. I think that I've got somebody who is making mistakes. I'm not going to use it as an excuse, but when they're under the influence of drugs, alcohol, their behavior, of course, isn't the same. So they could be involved with a third party. They could be talking to people behind your back. They could have even been cheating on you, so it's, you can't help but think, if you weren't doing drugs, you'd be thinking clearly and you wouldn't be doing these things. So it's like a catch-22. They've got to repair. They've got to work on repairing. They've got to stop sabotaging themselves. They've got to rebuild their life in order for us to have a connection. I feel like this person keeps breaking your heart. And there's a sense of, because of the toxic relationship, the addiction, the hurt, the twisted words, what's going to change? I have this beautiful butterfly, and it's coming into me as you entering into your next phase of your life, metamorphosis, right? You're ready to change. They're not. Okay. You have to heal your inner child. Maybe that's why Spirit was adamant in the beginning, where they're saying, pick your battles. Okay. Like, this isn't somebody you can fix. This isn't somebody that you've tried, and you've been hurt one too many times. Okay. Can they keep a promise is what they're asking you. Did they break a promise? So there's a sense of pausing and looking to see what's happening before your eyes and listening, instead of jumping right in and accusing or jumping right in and trying to fix things again. So there's a part of me that says, take a step back and think about your inner child, what it's doing to you. I have a King of Wands. Of course, I could love this person. I could see that we have a beautiful home or life together. I don't want to give that up. I do feel a third party coming in. You're taking me for granted just came in. I have a Devil and a Ten of Swords. Little bit of what have you done? Okay. A little bit of something has to change. Like, this is painful. This is hurtful. And until it becomes an end, it's destroying your person and it's destroying this relationship. So this Devil is consuming them, whatever it is. It's temptation. It is behavior that they can't control anymore. It is needing help, basically. And you can't fix them, they're saying. I have a Knight of Cups. This is coming into me as I remember when. So you could have a lot of fond memories of you were really good to me. We were really in love. You're the love of my life, or I'm passionate about you. When did it go wrong? Okay, so it was so good. It's like it was so good in the beginning. It's when did it go wrong is how I want to know. People change, or they say I'm changing, or they say things will get better, and but they don't do the work. And I feel like that's the situation you've been left with right now, is somebody who keeps telling you over and over again, it's going to get better, it's going to change, and you're holding on to, it was so good. It was so good in the beginning. Okay. And then, when did it go so wrong? And I think that I'm struggling with giving up the person I fell in love with. And that's a sad place to be. I have the letter L. Let's get some initials. Maybe we'll get a confirmation of a person. I have the letter T, Z. I have a P. I have a D. I have a T, a D, I, W, V, A, and let's get a few more. V, K, G. So first initials, last initials, I, and G. Yeah, I feel like I'm struggling. Spirit wants you to pause before you do something that you'll either be upset that you did or say something that you wish you had. They're asking you to take the high road right now. The truth is coming out, whether they want to believe it or not. This sense of spinning and twisting your words. It's just not. I guess worth the effort right now. You've got to push this person away enough so that they kind of get a slap in the face, so to speak, so that they kind of start to look at their behavior. So they're on the verge of losing you, Spirit just said. I've distanced. The separation you are experiencing is necessary to help the relationship grow. Sometimes when you push somebody away, they do get help. The fear of losing you, the fear of losing their life with you, the fear of everything being taken away from them. So sometimes it's like the best thing you can do for somebody who needs help. And unrequited feelings. There is not enough love to keep this relationship going in a healthy way. You can love this person to death, but if they don't love themselves, the relationship's not going to have a chance. So again, it goes back to, you can't heal somebody. You can't fix them. It's a true love. Okay. You could be genuinely in love with them. This is the romance of a lifetime. It's true and lasting, and it's here for you, but somebody has some healing and repairing to do. Otherwise, they're going to bring you down with them. So sometimes we have to push it away and give ourselves a break from it. Open your eyes. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I have a feeling that you've got somebody that it was really, really beautiful in the beginning. It was amazing. And then this person started to turn. Either drugs came back into their life, drinking came back, cheating, lying, anything. And all of a sudden, it went from, you made me promises to, when did it go so wrong? And can I even believe you anymore? All I know is the truth comes out. Okay. So if you're waiting for some answers, I would say just wait. Okay. Because you're going to get the truth one way or another. If you need like physical and evidence for you to make a decision, then Spirit will eventually give you the physical evidence. in the meantime, they want you to pause. They want you to wait for what it is that you need to help you. And just know that no matter what, Spirit's going to take care of you first. So these are difficult days. These are difficult times, I would say. And let's see what some of the feelings are. You are my world. Maybe they can't handle the distance. You know, they'll get their act together. I've been thinking about the last time I saw you. You know, maybe you saw them when they weren't at their best and they're embarrassed. They're ashamed. I'm ashamed of my behavior. Your presence in my life gives me peace. I'm better with you in my life. Nothing really makes sense without you. So they're going to feel it. They're going to feel the withdrawal. They're going to feel the separation. I'm always with you in spirit. You know, like I'll love you from afar. I always knew there was something different about you. I feel like you're the only one who has really given them a chance, who has really believed in them and tried to help them and tried to be there for them. And I feel like that's being all stomped on right now. And that probably is what hurts you the most, is you just have put so much time and effort into this person. Time spent with you was the happiest time of my life. So I feel like it was so good in the beginning. And when did it go so wrong? So I'm gonna say that we need the space from each other. This person has to heal. This person has to be the person that they were in the beginning. And they've got to admit the truth. They got to admit what's going on. They got to be honest. They've got to honor their promises. And they've got to be there for you, Spirit's saying. They're not there for you right now. They're there for themselves. So part of me feels like you've got to take care of yourself right now and make a decision for what's best for you. So we're going to put this out into the universe. These are difficult days. These are difficult times. But just remember that Spirit's always with you. And just remember the truth always comes out. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. I want to thank you for being here. If you're new to this channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you always for your kind words. I appreciate them. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please check out my website at kathymamolinspsychicmedium.com. Also, check out my main channel and my pick a card channel, and I'll put the links in the description below.